If you've been stuck for a long time in the following situation, you're currently involved with someone who doesn't fully see your worth, and you're pouring all your energy and effort into it, holding on to the hope that one day this person will love you back the way you love them. Even though there's a small part of you that you keep trying to silence, the part that tells you, look, this isn't going anywhere. This isn't going to happen. You need to walk away. Maybe you've even tried before but couldn't do it, and you fell back in. And this person comes looking for you again and you give in and act like nothing happened. Or even worse, you pull away but then you can't stand it. You feel so bad being far from that person that you decide to go back. Stay and watch this video, because I'm going to give you a series of keys that will help you enormously. The first thing I want to clear up is a reality we don't see, one that these people cling to. Stop interpreting it as if you and this person don't have a relationship. If this person has a romantic, emotional bond with you, I don't care if it's only through messages, and on top of that, there's physical closeness, intimacy, even if it's occasional. If this person allows you to feel that there is something between you two, that's the premise. If we're talking about someone who wants nothing to do with you and has made that clear, then you're in a process of personal healing, and that's not what this video is about. I'm talking about someone who hides behind the idea that you and I aren't a couple, using a trick as simple as refusing to give it a title. From there, they enter a kind of emotional limbo where they feel free to take emotional advantage of you without any explanation or commitment. But let me tell you, that's not how it works. I want you to understand something. If this person is bonding with you, even if they refuse to name it, you and this person have a romantic, emotional relationship. I don't care if they won't admit it. Why does this matter? Because once you realize you're in a romantic relationship, you can see just how little this person actually offers you. Since you're not afraid to put a label on it, even if you can't say it out loud because this person won't give you permission, if you're acting this way, you probably aren't seeing anyone else, and if you have, it's usually just to cope with the neglect this person leaves you with, or to try to distance yourself from the situation. Maybe you flirted with someone else or given yourself that chance, but honestly, you're faithful, mostly with your body, but especially with your heart and mind. You're loyal to this person. You give them your affection exclusively. And this person usually knows it too. It doesn't matter if you've never talked about it, if they've never asked. They know. Because we can tell when someone is truly invested in us. So if this person allows this situation to continue over time, then today you actually do have a relationship with them. They just don't want to call things by their name. Notice how little this person is offering to your relationship. Why do I want you to see it this way? Because normally, in your own mind, you let this person get away with this legal loophole. Well, they don't fully support me because they're not officially my partner. They're not there on days that matter to me, but, well, they're not my partner. They never asked about that thing I mentioned, but of course, they're not my partner. I guess I can't ask for special treatment. I can't ask them to visit because they're not. No, that's not how it works. Didn't your parents ever tell you as a kid? If you're too sick to go to school, you're too sick to go play with your friends. Life works the same way, friends. If this person does accept it, if they create those moments of emotional intimacy, exchange messages, sometimes meet up physically, this person notices and perceives how you feel, and they don't discourage it. They don't say, hey, look, please don't fall for me. I really don't feel that way. Don't expect anything serious from me. No, not at all. They avoid the subject, and sometimes even throw you a bit of hope that this situation might become what you want in the future. This person is in a relationship with you. They're just lazy as hell and give very little to it, so stop making excuses for their lack of effort. The next thing I want you to understand is this, from a purely transactional perspective. And all relationships have a transactional component, even family and friendships. Romantic ones are no exception. You have nothing left to offer this person if you're already giving everything without receiving the same in return. Strip away, for a second, any romantic notion of, well, feelings should just happen naturally. Sure, everyone feels how they feel. Everyone's at a different point in life. But the point is, each person gives what they choose to give. This is simple. If I'm already offering you the best I have, I'm not giving you any reason to change. If I'm already giving it all, while you're being lazy, contributing so little to this relationship that you won't even give it a label, and you cling to that, then in that situation, if I'm already giving everything, where's the incentive for you to realize this isn't sustainable and that you should try harder? Do you know why you try so hard? Because you don't have this person. And what does that mean for you? It means certain fears, like the fear that at any moment they could leave your life, meet someone else. Because if you're not fully committed to me, you're open to love elsewhere. And that's a reality we don't want to see, but it's there, weighing on us. So you try so hard because you want that commitment from them, the reassurance and security of knowing they aren't open to anyone else, that they imagine a future and a present with you. Meanwhile, you're over there trying so hard, but this person doesn't feel that pressure. This person knows you're completely invested. Maybe you've even had conversations where you laid your feelings on the table, told them you needed to step away because this situation hurts and isn't sustainable. But then you come back. Do you really think that person, even for a second, thinks, wow, they cared so much about me, they pulled away, they must not feel as much anymore, and now they're back? No. That person knows the reason you came back is because your feelings are so strong you couldn't hold out, and you settled. So that same person, understanding that, isn't afraid someone else will show up and take you away. Honestly, they should be, because even the most patient person eventually gets tired if things aren't right. And in most of these stories, the ending comes because the person who's been putting up with it all finally gets tired. Except in some cases where the other person gets there first and meets someone else. But many end because that person who seemed like they'd never tire does tire, or the person who seemed parked on the sidelines gets lucky enough that someone comes along who's willing to put everything on the table and start something real with them. And then it hits. Oh, but I thought this was impossible. And it really did seem impossible while they were in the situation, because they were so confident they never even considered that option. So if I feel like you're already giving me everything, that you're settling for the little I give, and I'm not afraid you'll leave for someone else, then I have no urgency, no real reason to try harder. Because if you're already giving me everything without demanding commitment, you're leaving the door open for me to have more. So why would I settle for just this if I can have all of that? Why would I settle for offering you fidelity when right now I already have your fidelity and I can go out and be with whoever I want without owing you an explanation? Because even though I'm technically in a relationship with you, since I give you so little within it and won't give you the title, you don't even have the right to call me out if I go be with someone else. So why would I settle for this when I can have it all? From a completely transactional point of view, you need to see that staying in that situation, even when you're scared to leave because you think, what if I had waited a little longer, been a bit more patient, planned one more nice date, remembered their birthday, spent a little more time together and they grow attached to me? None of that makes sense because you need to realize, in that situation, nothing changes. Because that person has no motivation to change. The only kind of change that can happen is the one I mentioned earlier. Since they can have everything while exploring their options, someone else might show up, and the only change you'll get is that, to top it off, this person tells you, hey, look, I'm sorry, I really like you, but I've met someone who does demand things from me, who won't settle, who won't accept being without a label, who won't accept unfair treatment from me. So now I'm going to give that person the same effort they're willing to give me. That's someone who won't settle for less than what they give. So for that person, yes, I will make the effort. And to make matters worse, because I have to work for that person, in my mind, I automatically value them more than I value you. But understand, this isn't about real worth. It's entirely about boundaries, self-respect, and transaction dynamics. It's not about actual value, it's all perception. But it's a perception shaped by what we demand from others. So when you find yourself thinking, I'm scared because of how much time I've already invested, what if I leave and right when I do, things change? You need to understand, nothing is going to move because the other person has no incentive to change. It's not that the situation is unfair, but will become fair once you're officially together. The truth is, you can already say you're in a relationship. It's just that, on top of giving you so little, this person doesn't even give you the right to a title, which puts you in a position where they have no motivation to try harder or give you more. So set aside that fear of, oh no, what if I leave now, right when I was so close? Understand that it's absolutely necessary, without any guilt, without any regret, and without falsely believing, because sometimes people tell me, I'm so scared of walking away and regretting it later. Regretting it is not your responsibility. I can only regret something if a person who does value me, who does offer me something meaningful, something reciprocal, someone who is truly invested in me, shows me things I'm not okay with. And I have every right to feel however I feel. And if I let that go, then I'm voluntarily, out of self-respect, giving up on a situation. And later, if I realize it was a mistake, I can regret it. But if I'm in a situation where I'm receiving unequal treatment, where I'm suffering precisely because the person who should be caring for and protecting me instead puts me in a demeaning position, one that leaves me feeling humiliated, upset with myself, uneasy. If I walk away from that, I have nothing to regret, because honestly, it's the only correct and decent thing I could have done in that situation. In other words, it's that person who isn't choosing me, and it's that person who, later on, when they see I'm gone, should, and probably will, regret it. And the best way to move on from someone who never knew how to value you is by finally showing them what, up until now, they never saw in you. That's why it's so important to make a truly dignified exit. Sometimes we think that when we walk away, we need to top it off with an emotional grand finale, making it crystal clear to this person just how deep our feelings are, how much they meant, and what they're losing. But in the end, that only makes the other person feel like your exit is a bluff. They figure you won't hold out, so they offer you reassurance again, they reappear, and you fall for it again. As sad and even a little undignified as it may sound from the outside, stop giving so much to someone who isn't giving anything back. Stop giving so much love to someone who's playing you, sometimes lying straight to your face, taking advantage of you. Stop giving your best to someone who often doesn't deserve it. And doing that, far from being a romantic gesture, is sometimes humiliating. Forgive me for saying it, but it's true. So what we need to do is finally show this person everything we haven't shown them yet. That we're emotionally independent, that we respect ourselves, that we have willpower, that we're people with dignity. How do you do this? With an elegant, silent withdrawal. I truly have nothing more to say to you. And once I walk away, I'm not going to keep performing for you. I'm not going to send you a long farewell message, some kind of testament explaining that despite the pain, despite everything I wish could have been, no, this isn't the time for words. Whatever feelings you needed to show them, you've already shown plenty. If it were up to me, honestly, a little smack upside the head to knock loose everything you gave would do the trick. So don't add anything more. I leave quietly, and from that point on, I don't display resentment either. No drama on social media, no subtle, indirect posts aimed at them, and I'm not going to spend my days posting everything I do just so that, in case this person decides to snoop, whether from their own profile or through some random cover account, they see it. No. I'm not going to put on a show trying to win back their heart, sending subliminal messages, posting provocative photos hoping to get a reaction. No, I'm going to genuinely commit to moving away and understand that I've already done more than enough for this person. So before doing anything, please ask yourself who it's really for. If it's for that person, don't do it. That's my advice on what you show to the world. And as for yourself, truly understand that the more you can bring your energy back to yourself and focus on taking care of yourself, on that physical and emotional glow, do it for you and only you. Or at the very least, tell yourself, I'm doing this because I'm committing to myself, to never again accept less than what I deserve. In other words, first I give myself everything I deserve, and then I'm open to receiving it from someone else. If this person comes back because they regret it and reconsider, fine. But I already know the terms and conditions I need. I'm not going to let myself get dragged back into a situation where this person breaks out in hives at the mere idea of any kind of commitment to me. But please, think about it, because it seems so unthinkable to me, and I want you to really think it through. It's one thing to say, I've just met someone and we need time before we make things official. It's a completely different thing to be in a situation where you and I both know I want everything with you, but you won't give it to me, and I just sit there settling for 10%, 20%, 30%, even 40% of what I give. That's just too much. Who does this person think they are? Forgive my language, but who do they think they are? That they deserve more effort from you than you're getting from them? Please, really think about your mother, the woman who gave you life. Do you think your mother, who raised you, deserves to watch someone come into your life who believes they have the right to have you emotionally devoted to them, as if you were in a real relationship, but who doesn't think you deserve the label or the same in return? Who do they think they are? Who the hell do they think they are? What makes them think they're worth more than you as a person, that they have different rights than you do? I want you to really connect with this mentally. You don't deserve to be in that situation, so I want you to make this yours and say, I don't know who I'll end up with tomorrow. What I do know is that I owe myself an apology, to myself, no one else, for having accepted this. And I forgive myself. And from now on, I'm going to take care of myself the way I deserve. And of course, I'm going to demand what I deserve. Not like some people out there who go around confused, saying, I deserve money, I deserve to be treated like royalty. No. Regardless of your gender, regardless of your sexual orientation, regardless of anything else, you deserve love that's returned in kind. Promise yourself you won't settle for less. No matter how they try to sell it to you, no matter what ribbon they wrap it in, you are not going to settle for less. For yourself, for your mother, for your whole family, for your ancestors, you are not going to settle for less. And if anyone even hints at treating you like an afterthought, like some backup option, you're going to tell them to get lost, to go far, far away. So if this person wants to come back into your life, it'll have to be on real terms. Otherwise, it won't count. You'll be the one telling them no. You'll be the one saying, no, I'm not interested. Enough with the, but you're special to me, just to me. Stop the nonsense. Just say it plainly. Not interested. Commit to yourself. If that person truly regrets it and is willing to give what it takes, there might be a chance. And if not, someone better will come along. Because when you're in a relationship with someone who won't even give it a name, who doesn't reciprocate, the bar is set incredibly low. So whoever comes next will be better and will make you happier. And believe me, up until now, you're capable of making yourself far happier than staying involved with someone who keeps dangling the carrot in front of your face every single day. Well, this has been inspiring. I hope this video resonates with you, that it helps you, that you listen to me, that you let me walk this path with you. Subscribe. I have a channel with over 1,000 videos, some of them very empowering, that can help you and support you so you never forget what you deserve. Until we meet again, as always.